Yay! Yeah, this is our NSYNC roundtables for support group leaders. And we're going to start, always housekeeping items, taking care of our ground rules and this collaboration agreement. It's very important that we follow some of these rules to get most out of this program. And if you can stay muted so we don't have background noise in this recording, that will be great. And we're going to listen actively today so that we can get the most out of this information. If at any point you need to get up, go get a drink, go get a snack, please feel free to do so. And, right now I am trying to figure out my technology as well. I'm getting some notifications here. I'm like, oops, I'm sorry for that. So please be patient with us if our technology fails us, if we get disconnected. Internet sometimes is a little spotty where I live in rural Maryland. And so today we're going to get the program going with a chat storm, and that is where your tech skills go into practice with the chat. And the question for today for all of you is, what does having fun mean to you? It could be dancing, it could be going on a trip to Europe, or it could be just sitting with a warm blanket, watching a Hallmark movie, and having some hot cocoa, right? Fun means different things for all of us, and we want to know, what does having fun mean to you? And let's go. Laughing with friends. Love that. I agree with that. And, hanging out with friends as well. Instead of hot chocolate, having some green tea. Yes, Kelly's going on the healthy side with us here. Celebrating life with family and friends. Yes. And how does that celebrating look like? Is it a family lunch or playing a board game with family and friends? Right? Socializing with a group, spending time at the beach. Oh, Katie, yes, especially with the weather still being warm. How nice to go. Relaxing the waves, the sound of the water. Nice. How about a fire pit in the backyard? I love that idea too. Roasting marshmallows, not so much, but most people like a fire to roast marshmallows. All right. For me, it's just keeping me warm. That's what I like about a fire pit. And then we have paddle boarding on the Gulf. Yeah, good balance exercise. I haven't tried it, but it's in my bucket list. One day, maybe we'll go visit Greg and he can teach us how to paddleboard on the Gulf. Variety. Okay, Roger. Variety. What does variety mean? So if you can explain that a little bit more, that will be very helpful. Next, we have time in nature. Love that. So relaxing to go hiking or, just a picnic. Or in my case, I like to go to the bay and collect some shark teeth. Yeah, we get some fossils as well. So those are all wonderful ideas. So if you have more ideas there, please keep them coming. If Eden was here, I know what her answer would be. Do you want to take a guess? Read a book, right? Yes, wonderful. Oh, even better, read a book with a donut. Yes, Kelly, thank you for that. So when Eden watches this, she's going to know that we're thinking about her. All right, beautiful. Some wonderful ideas. We want to keep, the thinking going about what it means to have fun for me and why does it matter with our support groups? Why does having fun matter? Yeah, trying new things. Okay, things that you haven't done before. That's what variety means for Roger. Thank you, Roger, for explaining things. Yes, trying new things. Love that. Personally, I love trying new things. Take me exploring. I'm in. Next, what do we have? Okay, technical problems. My computer is not moving. Oh, there you go. It worked. Okay, so for this roundtable today, now that almost everyone has connected, what are we going to be doing? So we're going to start by thinking about what it means to keep your group fun. And we're going to think about the times you enjoyed spending time together. What did it look like? What did you do? What made that special? And why do you remember it? There must have been something special about it. And we're going to break out in rooms and we're going to have a small group discussions, and to share, what you have done, those special moments with the group. And then we're going to share those ideas with everyone, because you may think, oh, I haven't done this with my group. Maybe next month or next year, I'm going to try that. Okay, sparking some creativity here for everyone. So that's what our agenda for today is going to look like. So let's discuss first a little bit. There you go. About your group. And it's important to remind ourselves that our group has a lot more in common than Parkinson's. Right? We're community members, we are parents, grandparents, friends. We like to read the same kind of books. We like to go to similar places. So it's important to also keep those fun things in our groups. Why? Why does having fun together matter? Because having fun together can help participants in our group engage with the group in ways that they feel safe enough to share, right? We want to start building that trust within the group. So, and that we're going to achieve that by helping our members get to know each other. What things they like to do, what matters to them, what's important to them. Also, it's a way to integrate new members into the group. It increases the comfort with others in the group. It encourages listening and cooperation, like we did the chat storm right now. That was kind of a little hint on how doing simple, fun activities can look like. It also enhances social skills, right? Giving them ideas on how they can still be out there and doing fun things that they enjoyed, and maybe now they are limited in time or friends to go with and do fun things. So by doing it as part of the support group, hopefully we're going to encourage that too. As I mentioned before, it's a way to build rapport and trust. And it also sets a positive and supportive tone for group discussions. So how can we integrate some of those fun activities in the group? And it can be very simple, like icebreakers. That little chat storm we did, that was an example of an icebreaker. And that is a way, to start the meetings with engaging questions or sharing fun facts. And that is a way to get everyone's attention. And for ideas on icebreakers with PMD Alliance, we have that resource built in for support group leaders. And those are our meeting makers, which can be found in our website. And we are also sharing the link for you so that you can find them. And here we have an example of what a meeting maker looks like. This meeting maker was created at our InSync support group leader workshop in Glendale, California at the beginning of the year. And this was an icebreaker created for people who are newly diagnosed. If we have a support group with only newly diagnosed people, or if you're an existing group and you have someone new joining the group, how can we make them comfortable to be part of the group and share. So here we have an idea of an icebreaker to, not start talking about Parkinson's, but we can start talking about middle school and high school. Go down memory lane and, how did you feel when you transitioned from middle school to high school? It was scary, right? Or was exciting? How did you feel? So that way we open the door to start sharing. And you can have more ideas. Meeting Makers 2024. So that is a simple activity. Then if we want to think about more involved activities, we can also do some planned activities like plan an outing, go bowling. And this is a real picture of a care partner in my support group. We went bowling for Mother's Day. And why I love this picture, look at his technique. I'm like, you've done this before. And he's like, yep. In college, my elective was bowling. No wonder he's able to look like that. And yes, he won. And he said he hasn't bowled in 50 years, but it all came back. No problem. So that was a fun activity that we did. How about going to a movie theater? I haven't been to one in a long time, so that is in my list also to do. I know some groups, they have gone on a cruise together. Can you imagine that? I've never been to a cruise. So going with a group would be pretty amazing. A picnic in the park. Yes, we have done that when the weather is nice. How about a yoga retreat? I would totally do that, right? Or going Christmas shopping. Especially when we think about maybe some group members are not driving anymore. And that is a way to get them out of the house and get them to the mall and get the Christmas shopping for the special people in their lives. So those are just a few ideas, things that we could do if we want to do a planned activity, an outing, instead of a support group meeting, maybe. Okay. So what matters most? I want to remind you that you do not have to come up with all the ideas. How about you ask your group? That's something I do with my group. Every 6 months, I ask them, what do you want to do for the rest of the year? And depending on their answers on the survey, we plan the activities. Someone has connections with the bowling center and they can book the bowling outing. Because you don't have to do everything. You don't have to plan all the activities. Ask for help. Someone knows someone who knows someone, and they can help you out as well, and maybe get a deal, a discount. So please remember to always ask for help. And now we're going to go into breakouts. The fun part of our roundtables, getting together and sharing with each other. So we're going to go into groups, and Kelly's going to be the one helping me out with that, creating those groups. Oops, my mouse moved. There you go. I got a new mouse and it's pretty, so I'm learning how to use it. So we are going to go into our groups. I usually prefer 5 people per group. That way you have more time to share. And we're going to spend about 45 minutes with the group, sharing all the things that you're doing to keep your group fun. Remember, the definition of fun is different for everyone. And you're going to need a designated person to take notes so that when we come back all together, we can share back. Okay, so remember that is very important. I do not like to be the note taker, so I never volunteer. Hopefully you are lucky enough in your groups that you can find that person who is going to help you. So now Kelly is going to send us into groups, and have fun, everyone. And remember, have fun. Today is all about that, having fun. We will see you all in about 45 minutes, and Kelly will keep us on track. Okay? See you soon. to eat. Go ahead. So now comes the fun part. Hearing back, what did you talk about? I cannot wait to hear what you discussed and what ideas we're gonna come up with. So we're gonna start with group one, and Lauren is gonna be the one sharing with us everything the group talked about before they had to go to other meetings. Go ahead, Lauren, tell us.
Good thing I was the note taker.
Yes.
Some things we talked about that people are doing for fun. One group socializes before the meeting. So they meet like half an hour before the meeting actually starts and they just have a social time. Um, uh, one of the groups has done, it was actually my group, is we play two truths and a lie, which has been very, very popular. The group always loves it when we do it, and it's a really good way to get to know each other. And it's a nice distraction. It's not Parkinson's related at all. Another group went to an outing to a farmer's market. Several of the groups are planning holiday parties and having like cookie exchanges and raffles and things like that for the holidays. Art classes seem to be popular. That's one of the things some people are doing for fun. And one of the groups had like a series of art classes that they had someone come and teach a project, and it was like over 3 different meetings. One of the groups had a weekend retreat for just the women, which sounds like it was so much fun. She had 20 people. And she said she even had some speakers who had come to the meeting who wanted to come to their women's retreat, so they showed up also. I thought that sounds like fun. I want to do that. One of the groups has gotten together to play ping pong. Another one had like a game night. And that was about all we talked about for fun stuff. We talked about some other stuff about getting ideas for next year and how to get the group to, like, some people sent out surveys and it's been tough to get responses back, or, just making plans for the next year. But that was it.
Wow, that's wonderful. Thank you. Oh, I would have loved to hear more about game night, how that came to be, what they did, what they thought about that. Because, yeah, with my group, that would be fun to do. We tried bingo once, so that was nice. Thank you, Lauren, for sharing with us. And I do also like the idea of socializing before the meeting. We do something similar. We have potluck lunch for 45 minutes, and then we have either a speaker or a group discussion about something. So they mostly show up to eat. We love to eat. Who doesn't like to eat, right? So that's why we do it around lunchtime, and it's a fun way to socialize. So thank you, Lauren, for sharing what group one discussed. How about group two? Who's the note taker in that group?
I,
You can, oh, go ahead. Who
I
said?
think, real group two,
Nasrin.
our note taker, I think, had to step out. She put a note out. I wanted someone to volunteer reading it. I think we had Sandy and Betsy and then Judy with us and Greg. So any of you wanted to read, go to the chat. She put it on the chat because I think she had to step out. So if you like to read it, go ahead, Greg, if you want to do it. Judy, if you want to do it, go ahead and just read off of the notes she put in on the chat, or if people just want to look at it themselves, and then we can go to the next group, however you want.
Go ahead. I volunteered to share because I don't see anything in the chat.
Yeah, I
Go
don't
ahead,
see
Judy.
I guess I've lost my voice during this meeting, so I'm not sure much how about be, but we all kind of talked about exercise as being a huge thing to enjoy, and the necessity for it. We kind of segued into a discussion about doctors who are actually telling people not to exercise or downplaying the importance of exercise, which we found kind of shocking. Greg talked about how he liked to go down to the beach. Lucky guy, he lives right near the ocean. And his wife works a coffee shop. Sometimes he's over there helping clean up or wash dishes or something. And let me see. Nasrin said I guess I didn't hear, I missed the beginning, so I'm not sure what you do for a living, Nasrin, but I think you're a doctor or a healthcare. I'm sorry. I'm not sure what you do,
No,
but she talked about she
no,
talked
no,
about the,
no problem. Yes, I'm a nurse practitioner.
okay.
I have a
I knew it was
doctorate degree,
something,
but
but
I ask my patient to still call me Nasrin. So yeah, so the notes are there. Maybe it's only visible to me.
yeah,
But
I don't,
Sandy, is it visible to you too, the notes? No.
she just sent it to you, I think.
Maybe.
It says to everyone though, so I don't know.
Yeah, that is what it is, perhaps. Just let
But I
me,
don't see anything.
yeah, then let me just summarize. We really didn't much focus on the groups, rather in the individual who were on the group, and everyone had their way of fun, and I learned some too. So for Sandy was being with the family around the fire pit in the backyard, relaxing, is something that they have done for years. For Greg, is going on a paddle form, and then he's gonna go fishing, and he lives near the beach and has a lot of fun between himself and the sea. And then we had Judy, who also is a very highly active members of different groups down in Arizona, where she lives in Sun City. And she's actually a speaker on one of the sessions coming with political people in her area. So she's rehearsing her speech. That is really exciting. And then we had Betsy, who goes to town with her husband in a tricycling. Is that what it is, Betsy, that you guys sit and go to the, unmute yourself and say it, because that was a lot of fun. I think I'm going to buy.
You're on mute, Betsy. Can you turn on your microphone?
I'm sorry, we misunderstood because we all were asked to talk about we personally do for fun.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
our group does lots of fun things too, but it's great to get ideas from everyone else. So thank you. That's why I tuned in to hear about support groups. So that's so good. Thank you.
Yeah, so tell us about the tricycle.
My husband bought a recumbent bicycle, and that's because he can't ride a two-wheeled bike with balance issues. Also, his neck bothers him greatly. He had 5 vertebrae fused, and so the recumbent bicycle makes it that he can bicycle for 6 to 10 miles, and I'm on my bicycle, and it's excellent exercise for both of us. So
Wow.
yeah. And our support group does fun things. We always have a Christmas party with a white elephant gift exchange. We have a potluck at our house. We try to incorporate things to encourage camaraderie. And I think that's so, so important that everyone can talk. We meet at a Mexican restaurant an hour before our meetings. Anybody who wants to come, and no host Mexican food dinner. Again, we did that because our library closes and we have to scurry out at the end of our meetings. And so our camaraderie time is before or when we have events. So.
Wow.
Sounds
That
great.
sounds fantastic. So you said that you do a potluck for Christmas at your house?
Well, the potluck is in the summertime because we have it at our house, and that way it can either be outside or if it's raining inside our garage. And everybody seems to really enjoy that time. They wear their name tags that I've made for them, and that just helps everybody a little bit more to recognize and enjoy each other as people, not as Parkinson's care partners or Parkinson's patients.
Powerful words, Betsy. Thank you. Yes, that's exactly it. And that's why we started today saying, we're more than
Yes.
Parkinson's. We are human beings who like to do things. And one time my group even told me, can we not talk about Parkinson's? Like, got it. Yes, absolutely. Can we talk about grandchildren? That was a lot of fun, sharing all the things, all the gymnastics that they go to, the baseball games and the swim meets. Like, yeah, that I look forward to those days. So thank you, group 2, for sharing with us. If anyone else from the group wants to add something, you're welcome to do so too. I know, Greg, you're still there and you unmuted.
I am unmuted. I think we pretty well covered it. I think one of the things we talked a little bit about was just, unfortunately, because Parkinson's is such a heterogeneous disease. There's so many different, last time I counted, there's over 69 different symptoms that I can count in 3 major categories. It makes it hard for the medical community to stay on top of that like it does. It's easy for me to do because I have Parkinson's. But for example, I had deep brain stimulation surgery a little over a year ago. But even now, they're talking about, well, do you want continuous DBS or would you like reactive DBS? Do you want to be awake when you go through the process? Do you want to be asleep? Do you want robotics to perform the surgery? Do you want a neurosurgeon? So many different things are happening now in the world
Yeah.
of Parkinson's. I can imagine it must be virtually impossible for, doctors to want to stay on top of it. But I think
Yeah.
it's incredibly important that they at least try.
Yeah.
And I get really irritated with the doctors who just go, well, I've been using thus and such a drug for 20 years and it works, so keep working at it. And you kind of go, well, let's see, we still have Parkinson here. So your 20 years is taught us exactly nothing.
So, and to stay on track on the topic, Greg, even when we talk about DBS and the drugs and all that, but how can we do that in a more engaging way? Right? So, because we don't want that even those difficult topics to be doom and gloom, right? We want to keep it upbeat and hopeful, always hopeful. So, how can we work with our providers also in a fun way? I saw something in San Antonio where one of the movement disorder doctors, they did a walk, just chat with the doc. Let's talk about whatever is going on in your life while we walk around the park. I thought that was genius. And that more doctors could do that. It's engaging, it's fun, and it's that camaraderie, that fellowship that Betsy was talking about. So yeah, that is something we can add to these, topic of today about fun, but how can we do that with providers as well? The physical therapist, can they come instead of doing an LSVT demo? Let's play a game. I had Johns Hopkins University come and do a presentation about music as medicine. And she played a game of Jeopardy where we were, name the tune and name the instrument and for 500 points and sing the song. I was like, that was so engaging and people are still talking about that. So thank you for bringing that up, the topic about how we work with the providers as well, and how to bring, members and providers together. So thank you, Greg, for that. And let's move on to group number 3. Who was the note taker in group number 3? We have Barb, Naomi, Karen, Roger.
I was nominated. I can start off, but I'm sure that the others would be glad to join in.
All right, Karen.
We talked about a lot of different kinds of things, but I think all the things that we've been talking about relate to getting to know each other as people and not just people with Parkinson's and care partners. And all these things relate to that. The holiday parties, and Naomi mentioned they're having a Thanksgiving dinner at the Meals on Wheels place where they meet. A lot of people in our group, and I've heard that from many of you, whether it's pickleball or whether it's rock climbing or whether it's dance for Parkinson's or a singing group or whatever, that they enjoy each other's company. They really enjoy that. And we also talked about things to do in the group to help people get to know each other. And one of the things, and I said that I can send it to you folks at the PMD Alliance. I've mentioned it before. It's a contest we have every 2 or 3 years in which I bring in a sheet with 20 different descriptors on it. Born outside of California, is a gardener, enjoys cooking, has several grandchildren, has eaten an exotic food, whatever, and they have to get signatures. And they're rushing around getting signatures. And then we go over that at the end, and people begin to appreciate that in many cases, they have many things in common, and they begin to talk to each other. But this whole idea of bringing people into the group, making them feel comfortable, making them feel appreciated. And we too talked a lot about the arts, whether it's music or poetry or whatever. All these things are so important for bringing joy to people's lives. We've even talked a little bit, an idea that I've been trying to promote is having a fundraiser called Exploring Parkinson's Through the Arts and Entertainment. Because with dance and art and poetry reading and instrument playing and drumming and bringing all these things together and drawing people in from the community, not just ourselves, but bringing people in the community to appreciate, the full scope of Parkinson's, but this has been a lot of fun, just being in this group today, because, a lot of good ideas for having fun. You really can have fun even if you have Parkinson's in your life.
Yeah, wow, that is incredible. I wish I was in that group too. A little fly on the wall hearing all those ideas. And what stood out to me was what Naomi did, the Meals on Wheels. Nothing to do with Parkinson's, but it's a community organization that can support you. And reaching and building that connection with them, what do I have in my community that can help me? Make these activities affordable or doable, more accessible for our members to bring us together. I love that. A spa, that would be lovely. Having students from a cosmetic school come and do free manicures, right? Why not? Why not? Oh, yes, we love your nails, Judy. There you go. Wow, that is fantastic. Anyone else from the group that wants to add something to what? Go ahead, Naomi.
So I was going to say, I heard, all the different activities. The person that started the pickleball for Parkinson's in Santa Cruz, her name is Helen Power, and she is an ambassador for the Davis Finney Foundation. So in the beginning, we'll warm up, and then we go around in a circle, and it's, every victory counts. So what is your victory for the week? And we share that with each other, and before we start playing. And I think that's an awesome way to be positive and share with each other.
Yeah, that icebreaker, right? It sets the tone. Think about those nice memories, what you did.
One of the things I forgot to mention that Barbara mentioned that they do in Wisconsin, she said they have a pretty good group, and it's basically a speed dating exercise, or people move around the tables and they get 2-3 minutes to chat with other people, you know, their care partners, other people with Parkinson's. And I think that's a neat idea. I'd like to try that sometime.
Yes, I call
Yeah.
it Speedy Petey.
That is great. I love that. Yeah. Wow. So many wonderful ideas. I took note of a couple too. I want to try with my group next. So from everything that we heard today, all those ideas, here comes the last question for you. If I can share my screen again, if I can figure that out. Come on, mouse, work for me. So let's share in the chat. Click. Is it showing? There you go. I want to go to the one before. There you go. That one. What new insight did you gain from today's roundtable? Yeah, for me, those connections, Meals on Wheels. I didn't think about reaching out to them, and that is something I'm going to do too. Because also it's a reminder to members in my group that that is a service that they can take advantage of, and maybe they are not. So that is my takeaway from me today, that new insight. What about you? So many ways to enjoy life. Yes, thank you. We heard those words: joy, enjoy, fun, connection, camaraderie, fellowship, right? What else? What was your insight from today's roundtable? The importance of icebreakers. Yes, thank you. Fun doesn't have to mean elaborate planning. Simple is fun too. Yes, spontaneous. It's fun too. That's wonderful. I remember one support group leader shared that the speaker they had scheduled for that meeting couldn't make it, and they just had to improvise. So let's do a caring and sharing. What is important for you today? And she said, that was the best meeting we had in years. We loved it because we hadn't tried that. So spontaneous can be fun, simple can be fun. That is wonderful. And I hope all the ideas that you got from today's roundtable, some of them you can also implement them in your group and share with other members, because you know what? Those are also things they can do with their families, like in group 2, you know, things that they do on their own. Yes, you can go and do those things on their own too, with your friends, with your members. It doesn't have to be involved with the group. And yeah, involve dialogue without mentioning Parkinson's. Yes. Oh yeah, I heard that loud and clear. And it's important that to explore those things that makes us smile, that gives us purpose as well. So thank you everyone for sharing all what you are doing with your groups today. Do you have any questions or anything to add to today's discussion? No? Pretty good. Well, that is wonderful. I certainly had a lot of fun seeing you, your smiling faces. It's always wonderful. And I want to thank you personally, and also as PMD Alliance, for doing all the work you do for our community. We wouldn't be able to do this without you. So we encourage you to keep joining us every month for these roundtables. And we will see you next month after the All In Summit. We're going to have a lot of ideas to share. And I look forward to seeing most of you in Austin, Texas for our national conference. Thank you, everyone, and see you next month. Bye-bye.